Well, that's something that our program's earned, being the number one, coming back. And if you look historically in this conference, whoever's won the conference the year before has been the preseason favorite. With us, we do have a lot of kids coming back on both sides of the ball. I think on defense, we returned 9 starters, and on offense, we returned 6. We're pretty excited offensively. We registered probably, I would say one of the best offensive linemen that we've ever had here at West Liberty since I've been here since '92, and that's Jose Baez. So he should step into a role. Then we returned Search and at the right guard and Nick Madia at center, who was all conference. So we're pretty fortunate up front. We got a lot of young kids and a lot of older kids competing for the 2 tackle spots. Sawyer Russell and Ralph Petrella's back after an injury. So and Ben Davis, who's been in and out for the last 3 years of starting positions. So, and then the 2 newcomers coming in, probably Ryan Scaparata, and Larry Wright are the 2 kids coming in that look to push for the tackle positions. Offensively, you got to start with Amidro. He returns after having the second best year ever in Division II history and being runner-up for the Harlan Hill and all those things. There's a lot of pressure on him, but like I told him, he just needs to go out and play his game and don't worry about any of that and let it come to him if he so deserves it. And then, tailback-wise, we're set. We got, Kayvon Calhoun's back. We got Arvin Bell. We got the B.J. Hendricks. We got a load of kids that can go back there and help him out. Wide receiver wise, we return Willie Walker and Ryan Travis back there, and then Paul Ferguson's been Mr. Reliable for us. We have Alec Matvico, we have Brandon Schroeder, who had a great spring game, and then you look at the incoming guys, Brandon Carver and Tony Dumas look to push for time there. On our kicking duties, where, last year I was worried about finding a holder. We got 3 holders this year, so I'm excited. And, Blewett returns, and then Jeff Hoke will push him for time. He's a freshman kid with a big leg that we redshirted last year to try to ease him into things, and probably by the end of the year, he probably would have been handling the kickoff duties. Long snapping wise, I don't know if we've ever been this deep. Sawyer Russell is phenomenal at long snapping, and Josh Flint, so we're pretty solid there. You go to the defensive side of the ball, you got to start with, probably arguably the defensive leader is going to be Clay Bueller in the middle. And then you got Buffalo and Kimbrough who have tremendous, amount of experience playing for the last 4 years, or 3 years actually. They'll be seniors. And then you look at, the incoming kids. Rainey, we redshirted Marcus Rainey, who we think is going to be out of this world. And then Chris Pitzenberger coming in as a freshman. Our safety positions, looking at it from the spring, coming out of spring, Jason Kaiser, probably the strong safety, and the weak safety, probably Alec Wood, with a bunch of guys pushing for playing time there. And free safety, Lawrence Robinson came in and started for Paul Calvig the last 6 games and ended up being honorable mention all conference. So hopefully he can get back to that form. Defensive line wise, we play a bundle of guys up front, but if you look the guys that have started coming back, you got Murch at one end and Isaac Omates on the other. Betts in the middle with Leondis Redding. So we do return a lot of experience on the defensive side of the ball.
Coach, when you took over this program, it was a winless program in West Virginia Conference play, and you've known nothing but winning seasons since you took over, but you also seem to be a program that was on the verge every season of a potential breakthrough, just on the outside of claiming a conference championship. Last year was definitely that, 11 wins, an NCAA trip, and an undefeated conference championship.
Well, we need to build on that, and I tell the kids we need to play with a short memory, play the play you're in, live for the next down. Last year's over with. That senior class we had last year did a remarkable job leadership-wise, and we got to hope this senior class steps up and does the same thing. But the senior class set the tone last year, and we need, we got over 20 seniors this year. And so we need them to step up and be leaders and set the tone and leave their own legacy, because last year's is over.
Zach Amidro's skills and your offense seemed to be a perfect match, throwing for nearly 5,000 yards last season, and as you noted, was the runner-up in the Harlan Hill Trophy race.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously we only have a 10-game schedule. We couldn't find anybody to fill the 11th date, and I play it by ear. But he asked me if I'd leave him in longer in games. He only played in the fourth quarter of probably 4 or 5 games last year, not even half. I know we yanked him pretty early, but he's not into stats. He's into winning, and I think it's like we told him, if we win games, all those accolades will come like they did last year. If we don't win games, they won't.
It's hard to follow up on a season like last year, but a good position to be in. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we everything we got last year we earned as a team, and it's like I said in the beginning, we need to forget about last year and let's start this year and see what our personality is going to be. It's not the same kids that played last year; it's the same systems, but it's not the same kids, and the team will take on its own personality, and we'll go from there.
Though you have a lot of your core returning from a season ago, if there's a particular area of concern as you head into fall camp, where might it be?
It's kind of like last year. I don't really have any concerns right now. It kind of will play itself out. I'm excited about the depth we have on both sides of the ball. We potentially could have 105 kids come to camp, which I'd like to keep it at 100. But we've been obviously getting a lot of interest. But the amount of depth and amount of competition we'll have, and it pushed us last year. If you look at last year's team, there's only 2 kids that really played on each side of the ball that was not here in the spring. But we had big competitions in the summer camp, and that'll be the same thing this year. Whether the kids from the spring can hold on to their positions or these kids, and it's only going to make us better as a team, having the competition. I mean, every year there seems to be a couple starters that get unseated and become backup players, and if that's happening, you're going to be better every year.